Blessings, everyone. Welcome once again to um, my weekly talk, which sometimes I don't always get to. It's Presence of Light. And for those of you who have been following me along, I'm trying to find a time in my schedule where nothing else is conflicting or ex- misdirecting me in what I have to say. So it looks like Wednesday at this moment seems to be a good day, and 3:30 in the afternoon is the power number 33, which I'm stepping into from the number 22. So it has a deep meaning for me to be here at this time. And for those of you who can't watch live, it's always in the replays here at Humanity Healing, and I usually post them on my own Facebook page, which is Charlie Riverman Bergeron. I also have a blog that you can find me on, and it has a lot of poetry and other things that I do. So this is part of a new process for me that I'm going through, trying to see where the future and I align and how we all align in community with each other and can trust each other at a level that is greater than what we have been able to. Today's talk, if you see the name of the talk, it's called Our Awakening to Oneness. And most of us are awakening to that oneness. And what does that mean? It can mean very many different things, but awakening to oneness for me today is to look at we are one humanity. It doesn't matter where we were born, we are earth beings. No matter what color we are, no matter what language we speak, no matter what stories our ancestors had us believe in, whether they be religious or political, it matters not, because the reality of this is we are all living human beings here on planet Earth, beloved Mother Gaia. This message needs to be reiterated and reiterated and reiterated and planted as a seed in the minds of young people, and know that the world that they are being sort of sucked into, and I use that word not in a good manner, is really one that wants to own them, that wants to possess their mind, that wants to possess their physical bodies. They want to control every part of their living aspect. And the time right now is quite confusing to most of them, as it was when grew up in the 60s. It was confusing then. And many of us stood up and said, no, this is not the way to live. And we chose different paths. But there was a time when everybody left that path and went into corporate structure. Corporate structure and money. And it became their passion. And they became very wealthy. Whether it was legitimate or illegitimate, that was their goal. And it still is, and they're still in those seats, except they're in their 70s and 80s and etc. So the reality of all of that has brought us to this point now where we're having, we can't say we're having the Third World War, but we're having wars beginning in many places based on old pain. And when we look at the last World War, World War II, many of us were the children of those who witnessed that. And we took a hit as children. And now we live in a world where those people who joined into the financial system made billions of dollars. And they put it all together in these funds that are generating more. They're not interested in what damage they're doing to generate the money. It's all about generating the money. And so what we're living in is a world that is really not beneficial to the human, nor is it beneficial to Mother Gaia. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, and I'm not here to preach to you. So today, the message that came to me was about awakening to oneness. We talk about oneness in many aspects, but and we talk about awakening. So our present reality right now is very destructive. It's very destructive. It's destructive to the level of being dangerous for all life, whether it be human or not. And what we are trying to do is find a solution to shift our awareness. What do we shift it to? We have to shift it inwardly. Okay, we have to look inside of ourselves and say, who am I? What am I really here to do? Why am I either so totally involved in listening to all of this propaganda and storytelling that is not giving me the full truth? It's offering me somebody's picture that they want me to generate an energy with. And that energy is usually one of anger. Most of us now are not dealing with anger. We're dealing with sadness, with depression. We're dealing with how can we keep on living in a planet with billions of people and watch in years whether it's dying from diseases or dying from wars. There's no difference. They're dying. Why are they dying? Why are so many people dying? I don't have the answer to that. But I do know that the powers that are create these systems that are not concerned about the people as much as they are collecting facts, collecting numbers, and trying to invent something. So we've become, in many ways, the guinea pigs for all of these things, whether it be medicine, whether it be war. We know that the world is filled with nuclear weapons, and everybody is bringing each other to the edge of who's going to push that button first. And eventually somebody will do that. It's not questionable that it won't happen. So what does that mean? What that means is that there's groups of people, and I'm not going to say they're as separated as we think they might be, but there's a collective of beings and people in this world who would love to rule the world. This is an image in their minds, and they, no matter how they want to write it out, this is sort of a greedy passion. And they're not concerned about who gets hurt or what gets happened, because they know that in the background we have enough that we can rebuild it and rebuild it and rebuild it. So as long as they stay safe, the rest of the people on earth, that's their problem, not ours. And that's what we're seeing more and more in our history, is that they're moving things to a place where humans are being disrespected, being treated like the bugs on your windshield. Just another bug. This is a horror show for all of us to watch and to be a part of. So we have to remember that for thousands of years, our minds have been filled with information that's not true. It's been rewritten to make it easy for power, people, countries to rule over us. So they reworked the wording of things. They re-fed the information in little cut streams. If you saw the whole paragraph, that would say something completely different than what they send you on the news. When you look at the news and you see the film clips, they send you something that is going to trigger your emotional level. And the emotion that they want is for you to align with them to say, this has to be stopped. And the only way we can stop it is to go to war or to go kill or to go whatever it is they want to do. What for? What for? And then you have the people who have suffered this for thousands of years, or at least hundreds, and their memories are from 20 years ago, never mind 1,000 or 100 years. 20 years ago when they were bombed on because somebody did something to something. And so their whole ancestral mentality is about getting revenge or taking back their land, or this whole thing of it's mine, mine, mine. We humanity, it's all of humanity's. It's not just you because your ancestors were. That's where your ancestors began. But our real true ancestors came from someplace else entirely. And we don't know. And those who did know were their information was cut out and cut down because people didn't want to know that we had within ourselves an ability to become aware of something far greater than just being farmers or just survival as humans. That journey is over. We can survive. We're surviving this. And if we can survive this, let's move into something where survival is no longer the main effect of living. And I know that each of you in your own heart have an ability to feel everything that's happening to the point where you don't want to talk about it anymore. You don't want to see it anymore. Yet there's no escape from it. So the message today is really about coming back into oneness. And I'm not saying just coming back. I want you to awaken to oneness. And oneness means we are one. We're not like the animals. We're one human group. And it doesn't matter where we grew up or what we were taught, that basically the human body is pretty much the same. Yes, we have different gene codes and etc. But it's the same. It's the vehicle for what we call our soul, of who we are. What is the soul? I always like to say it's the source of unconditional love. From my death experience, that's where I went when I died. I became peace, I became light, and I became love. And that's no lie. And then I came back from the love to the light to the peace to the body. And that was my journey 30 years ago, or whatever it's been now. That's why I'm going from 22 to 33. 33 years ago, this month, actually. So the reality for all of us is what we have remembered, which brings me to the point of the COVID long-term memory, which I have. And I look at that and I say, I've struggled with it for 3 years, and it's really can be a pain in the butt. But the reality is I'm now at a place where it doesn't matter what I forgot. It doesn't matter if I can't remember. Because what's important is right now. Right here, right now. It doesn't matter what I did. It doesn't matter who I was. Yes, all that karmic energy is there. But if you stop and go inside and ask for forgiveness, and forgive those people that persecuted you and you persecuted them, and come to a level of peace, peace, light, love, peace, everything starts to shift. The energy dies down. So when we look at the world, what are they doing? They're ramping up our energy. Why? Because they want to use our energy. We are being used. Now, I'm not going to say how or why. That's irrelevant. the fact that we have become sort of um, energy providers for this whole chaos that we're involved in means that we don't have to live in the neighborhood. We don't have to be of that same religion. We don't have to be of the same nationality. We're human. We are humans. And we are awakening to the truth of what that means. That we are one humanity. That brings us to how do we come back together every day in our everyday lives. And basically, oneness is wholeness. When we're in when blah 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 blah, when we're in oneness, we feel whole. We're all in this together. It's not my journey, your journey. That's part of it. But just like there's planets, there's this planet and this, but they're all part of the intersection of the universe. What is universe? One verse. Why did they name it universe? Because it's a story. Everything we live creates a story. Now, the animals don't know the story. The trees don't know the story. But we as humans have the ability to know the story, write the story, change the story, rip the story up and burn it so that nobody remembers the story. We are living beings with an intelligence that exceeds what we've been told, that exceeds what we're allowed to use. And we now have artificial intelligence coming online. And that will be rewritten and rewritten and rewritten to tell us what we won't remember. And it will be altered. I'm not saying it might be. I'm going to say it's going to be. These are predictions that have been talked about for years, thousands of years, but in different ways. They didn't understand what that would look like. But if you look at old, not fortune tellers, but people, foreseers, that they could see the future, they expressed this. And they knew that this was going to happen. And right now, it's happening. The key right now is how do we stay in oneness and wholeness within ourselves. If we can't do it here, then it has no effect out there. So I want everybody to look into your own hearts, to realize that your brain has been manipulated, that your mind has been programmed. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It goes both ways. But the whole design was to create a civilization or create humanity's ethics codes. When we look at the history of humans, we've created all these laws, all of these, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to, why? It was because they didn't want everybody to come to realize their own potential. They wanted you to work for the collective of the power beings where you existed. And every tribe had those people that got so powerful in their minds that they led their people to death, they led their people to famine, they've led their people in many horrible places. Do not forget all that history has brought forward to us. And when you look at it, you say, why would they do that? Just be greed? Just because I've got power? I'm going to ride through the countryside and just slaughter every human that's there that doesn't say, bow down to me? What kind of human energy is that? It's not. It's negative energy. And that's what we've been running on for thousands of years, is negative energy. The earth is shifting, the universe is shifting, we are shifting. It's to come back into the positive energy within inside of us, to make peace with our past. It doesn't matter what age we are. I'm 73, I think, something like that. I don't even know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm planning to live for another 30 years. That's my plan. Now, what am I going to look like, or what am I going to do? I may not be able to do anything, but my intention is to be here through this process that we're going through, and to assist others the best way that I can. I'm not making money at this. I'll probably be broke. But that's okay, because the reality is I won't be broke in my heart. My mind will not be distorted and rewritten and reworked. I will be my sovereign self, my true self. And that's what I'm asking each of you, is to stand up and be that true self. Some of you are talking about levels of consciousness. Yes, we're definitely communicating on several simultaneously. It's amazing. It's amazing when you look at the whole picture. If you can encapsulize, this is the outer surface, this is the circle, our body. But you go into the body, this communication's going on all over there, from things that are not considered living at all. Yet there's a language, and that's what we need to learn, is the language of love, the language of peace, the language of light, and start speaking them, and start offering them to people, and especially ourselves, because sometimes we're the last person to turn around and say, hey, Charlie, you need to stay in bed today. I love you, and I'm going to let you stay in bed. Or, I love you, I care about you. And not in a narcissistic way, because the narcissist wants to control. It's in pure divine peace. And when you come into that, and meditation creates it, music creates it, when we come to that place of peace within ourselves, it's almost like a dead spot in the record. It's like all of a sudden the sound's gone, everything's gone, but there you are. Who are you in that moment? What are you in that moment? The physical and mental energy is not working in that moment, yet you're still there. What is that? What is that energy that is still there? What was the energy that, when I died in a motorcycle accident, asked me to look down? Seriously. Something, there was no body, I didn't see angels, but something said, look down. And when I looked down, I was watching myself answering questions, or trying to answer questions. I don't think I heard any words, but trying to answer questions of an ambulance driver. I wasn't there. Who is that I that was not there? I want to tell you all that each one of you have that I that is not here. And you're not just not here. You're not just anywhere that you might think you are. Because what you are is really the energy of life itself. And you chose to be here. You chose to adventure into this physical body, into this world, into all of the wonderful things we can create, that we can do for each other. And what have we done? We're now going through a horrible state of illness. And I'm not just talking about human illness. Mother Earth is ill. The water's being polluted. the land is being fouled. So we've created devastation and we're creating death. And that's got to end. And I say that not because you're doing it or doing anything to contribute to it, but this is the key. If we want oneness, we have to get whole. If you want wholeness, you have to think about being one whole. That's the kind of message that I want to send to each of you today, is that agitation and anger and disturbance are parts of our neurological network. That's going to happen no matter what we try to do. But what we can do is how we can change how we respond to it, how we allow it to make us or to force us into doing something. Swearing at somebody, punching somebody, ramming your car into the car in front of you. What is that? That's anger. That's frustration. What that is a short circuit. It's a short circuit in your brain where it becomes overloaded and explodes, basically. That's literally what I see. And I'm learning just like you are. Every day I have an opportunity to choose kindness or anger. I can choose positive or negative. I can choose harmony or I can choose harm. You see, the words that we have are interchangeable. And the real message is that destructive energies are only used to create a new power structure. Another powerful group to control everyone else. Because in that moment, they become wealthier, they become more powerful, and all they'd have to do is sort of get the ants and, okay, we're going to move them over here and we're going to move them over there. And whether they like it or not, we have all the abilities and powers to do it. And if they defy us, then we just step on them and crush them. And we'll give birth to more. They'll give birth to more. And if not, in the future, we'll be able to grow them in laboratories. And we'll be able to plant artificial intelligence into their bodies. And they won't even know it. And so we'll create a whole world that is really false except for a large group. Sounds bizarre. And I don't ever want to see that. It's a movie I don't want to see. So I ask in each and every one of you is to come into your heart. When your mind is frustrated, come into your heart. Stop. Just stop. Say stop and come into your heart. Know that your heart is a place of peace, light, and love. Yes, we have wounds. We have all kinds of things. But in its original beauty, the heart carries the energy of the truth of who we are. From a higher level of ourselves into the physical self, and then through our bodies. So, well, to many people that may sound totally ridiculous. I just want you to think about who you are as a human being and how you have a responsibility not only to yourself and your own family, but to everybody else's self and families. Because we are all one humanity. If there's only two, it's still one humanity. If there's only one, there's only one humanity. So as I sort of wrap up here, not reading my show notes, but that's okay. Sometimes they're worth speaking about, and I'll put them in my blog when I post this. But sometimes they're better read than spoken. And just want to say that each of you are blessed. Each one of you are blessed beyond your ability to really understand that. I am as well. I'm not any different than you. Just had different experiences, different awakenings. So as you move through your everyday journey, especially at this time that's unfolding where it's all about billions of dollars and lies and bombs and murder, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for all of us. And know that whatever we can do to bring peace and abundance to somebody else, even if it's in our own street or our own backyard, or it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go out and be an evangelist and try to save everybody. Sometimes just a smile, an act of kindness opening somebody's door, that's simple. That's humanity. That's the real you. Recognize that you and that other person, no matter what we've been through, no matter what our ancestors have been through, each one of us as an individual has the power, has the wisdom to offer kindness to each other. Love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. We are unity. One heart, one love, forever. Even after we leave this third dimensional planet we call Earth, we exist far beyond what we've ever been taught. But we were taught that so that we could be controlled. Bless you all. And as I read your notes here, thank you for letting the light shine. That's part of my job, peace, light, and love. And I encourage everybody else to share their light. It doesn't have to be dramatic like mine. It can just be, hey, buy somebody an ice cream. I mean, it'd be real simple. And what brings me a sense of daily peace? Well, this year, 2023, has been my year of peace. And I had to really stop and think that these are the things that I seek to enhance in others. What am I feeling within me? When am I not at peace? And I've been doing it, and I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning a lot about the world. So, that advice is what you want to seek. Seek within yourself and say, where is that not being fully respected? Because we have to respect ourselves in order to respect somebody else. Victoria, hi, good to see you. Hope all your girls are well. And bless you all. So I think this Wednesdays will be my day, and I think it's going to be 3:30. Hopefully that doesn't change, but I'll be here every week with my talk. I think this is finally settled in, and bless you. And like I say, you can find me pretty much anywhere. It's Charlie Riverman Bergeron, and I'm not bashful. Love you all. Bless you all. And thank you, Humanity Healing, for the years that I've been able to do this with you. And bless you for all that you do. And I remember, and I'll offer this to you, when I was first trying to figure out what was happening to me after I came back. Humanity Healing was a good guide. Bless you. Now I got to figure out how to end the live video. Ah, there it is, down in the corner. Didn't say I was brilliant, did I? Just full of light. Love you.